Here we go.
Well, hello. How is everyone? I hope you're well on this 1st of January 2025. Did you know, how good is this, right? The first day of the year, first day of 2025, and I've smashed it. Smashed it. Got it right. It's Wednesday. It is. I even got that right. Midweek hump, baby. Midweek hump, first of the year. It's everything. That's everything you want in a day. Anyway, so we get straight into the meat and potatoes as we start to look at the Liam Payne case, right? We're going to start here, and then I'm going to show you something. Because this is what is still being pushed as kind of how the Liam Payne situation reached its climax. That Liam Payne, this is what I guess the pushed narrative is. And that is that Liam Payne was a nightmare. He was a nightmare. He was doing stuff. He was an adult. He was of his, he could control what he was doing. He was a 30-odd-year-old man and, his own person. And what happened is there were some people around him at the time that probably could have prevented him from falling, and they didn't. And they're going to face some charges. And it all kind of focuses around this attempt to leave via the balcony, fallen and dying. Remember, this is what's being pushed. This isn't my belief. This is what we've been sort of led down the garden path to believe. But what we have to remember currently, these are the facts. And that is that we haven't been shown any proof to support that he fell. Nothing. There was apparently a video that would depict it, but then in official documentation, even the verbiage within that documentation is speculatory, where it says he quite possibly fell because he was doing this. But if there was a video that absolutely showed the fall, they wouldn't have to use that verbiage. They would be able to say, we've got video footage of him falling, we can see what happened. And in addition to that, we have multiple conflicting pieces of information. From Rogelio Norris apparently saying that Liam Payne was fine. Right up to 40 minutes before his fall, he's saying he was fine. Then you've got other people saying that Liam Payne was a nightmare, an absolute disaster area, including hotel guests, which is bizarre in itself, isn't it? Because you've almost got the hotel and this wedding party saying one thing, and then Rogelio Norris saying something completely different. But then it all comes down to the charges being faced by both Rogelio Norris and these members of the hotel staff facing the same charges, being sort of involuntary manslaughter. But, this is where some eagle-eyed people, so remember, this is what we're saying, look, One Direction star probably blacked out, climbing over a balcony, judge says. Probably. Not definitely. Not, we can see that he did this. Probably. And the 5 people have been charged over his death, right? Liam Payne fell to his death trying to escape from the Buenos Aires hotel where he had been staying. So even though the judge is saying probably, the male here is saying definitely. You've also got the Sun reporting today that Rogelio Norris is facing the worst charges than anybody else around the case, which is not. It's been, if you're ignorant of the way that Argentinian law works, then you may think that, especially when they're saying that it's equivalent of manslaughter. But anyway, check this out. So this person here, Suzanne, she eagerly-eyed, is that a word, eagerly? And I've left the link to this video. I'm not going to show the whole video that explains it all. It's not a very long video, but I think if you want to go and see the whole thing, click on the link in the description and go and see it, because it is noteworthy. And what it depicts here, because we've always thought, did Liam Payne really fall? We've also had a specialist who's come out and said he doesn't believe that the injuries that they list, how many injuries Liam Payne had, bearing in mind Jay Slater fell, 10 times as high and seemingly ended up with less injuries than Liam Payne on a non-braced fall, so it would have been relaxed. It's like when you impact something, generally you break more bones or there's more injury when you brace. Because the impact is more. If you stay in a relaxed posture, then you're less likely to obtain that many injuries. But anyway, that's by and by. I'm not an expert, could be talking shit. I also know that you can fall from a relatively low height and get injuries. I said our own daughter fell off a stool and broke her arm in 2 places. So 45 feet approximately and 25 injuries, is that completely out of the realms of possibility? No, it's not, but specialists have sort of, obviously they know what they're talking about much more than I do, and they would state that that doesn't really make sense, especially in a relaxed posture. Also, we have to factor in here is where Liam Payne's balcony was, the mechanics of the fall itself, which we have repeatedly said. Does a relaxed fall straight off a balcony end up with Liam Payne coming away from the balcony, seemingly at an angle, and coming to rest where he did? The whole situation seems it was almost like a propelled fall, like someone was thrown. Now, how did he get into the courtyard? So this eagle-eyed person here, if you look here, we've obviously got the balconies. You can see over to the right-hand side of the screen, we've got the balcony that Liam Payne was on the right of these air conditioning units. But what we actually have here on these air conditioning units are access doors, right? So these are the access doors, and they've just got a slide bolt here. So these are on the balconies, which go all the way across, so you can access from the floor, coming up and going across here. So if you look at this picture here, there's basically a ladder that goes all the way from the floor up through the center, up to the very top, that's got this wide opening here. And then either side are doors that you can get through. And there is the entrance point there. So these here are all access points. Just come along. And this is a close-up of the bolt. Now that, to me, looks like this section here, where that comes down, these aren't even locked. Because I think what you're seeing coming through this bracket here is where a padlock would be. So it doesn't even seem like they're padlocked. So you could literally lift that, slide it across, and open that door, and in effect, exit stage left. Does that make sense? So when we talk about, obviously, cameras being inside the property and not being able to, how would they get Liam Payne from his room? How would they get the bag onto this balcony? Well, it would seem that staff members literally have an access point from outside the hotel. They could easily get from the floor to any of these balconies via this ladder and access any point that they want. So what I'm saying here is, without the proof that Liam Payne fell, and with the oddities that we have around the fall, if you like, and now we seemingly have an access point at the back of the hotel where the balconies can all be accessed. Someone could be taken down that ladder and placed in the courtyard, or again going up the rear of the property. And also you have to factor in here, if Liam Payne is an escape risk, right, and he wants to get out, first of all, I don't understand why they were retaining him in the hotel in the first place if he really wanted to leave. Why? But he could have perhaps gone out onto this balcony, literally slid that door across and climbed down the ladder and got out that way. So why was he even going over the balcony? And I know what people are going to say. They're going to say that he was so wrecked off his face that he didn't realise. But he'd been in there for a few days. He'd been on that balcony. Surely you can see when you walk out there that you've got a fucking door. You know what I mean? You've literally got a door and you can walk through that door. And the ladder is sitting there. So if he's looking to get off that balcony and he's hell-bent on leaving, would he really have missed the fact that there's a fucking ladder beside him that he could have climbed down? I don't know. You tell me. Could be nothing. But as they failed to show that Liam Payne 100% fell, and we seem to have a missing piece of footage as well. I just feel that with this access point that gives them literally access from where Liam was found all the way up onto each of these floors to his very balcony, I just find that very, very interesting. So did something happen in the room? Is that why the room is smashed up? Did something happen in the room? And then was Liam Payne transported out the back of the hotel via this ladder system here and placed in the courtyard? Is this still about covering up something that actually happened in the hotel and not something that we are being told and that Liam Payne fell? Let me know down below what you think, and go and head over and check that video. When you actually watch the whole thing, it's a lot easier to follow. And I will catch you all live tonight for the first live of 2025. Take care. Bye.